Ariel Helwani recently shared his thoughts after the UFC posted a video on their official YouTube channel. The video showed Tom Aspinall saying he's tired of waiting for Jon Jones. Tom said Jones is basically retired and called himself the real heavyweight champion. He also said he already has a fight lined up and will share the date soon. What caught Helwani's attention most was the title of the video. The UFC named it, "He's Retired." Ariel believes this might not just be for clicks. It could be a hint from the UFC that they're ready to move on without Jon Jones. No one knows for sure if Jones is really done, but fans are reacting. Many now support Aspinall and say the division should continue without Jones if he's not coming back. Helwani's view shows a bigger picture. Maybe the UFC is getting ready for the heavyweight division without Jon Jones. Interestingly, just a few days ago, Jon Jones did mention something at a seminar. He said he, Tom, and the UFC are working on something in secret. He didn't give details, but said he can't talk about it yet, which means there may still be a plan in the works.
Look at the UFC YouTube channel posting this. I'm the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Good guy, bad guy, he's retired. And I thought it was one of those like fake UFC YouTube channels, just like repurposing things. They're pushing the retired gimmick. They're pushing the undisputed gimmick. Like, that doesn't happen often. This might be a sign, finally, from the heavens.
Well, what is the sign, if you don't mind me asking? Like, are they trying to put pressure on Jones here with this kind of stuff?
Point.
Like, look, we're on Tom's side.
I think we are going to find out soon. I'm only bringing this up, not to have a whole discussion about, like, shit or get off the pot. I just thought it was significant that they actually reposted this and then went with the "he's retired" on the, like, they don't get into this sort of, like, the clickbaity YouTube game. You know, they're the UFC. They don't need to get into it. And so I thought that was significant.
Reinier de Ridder, RDR, a former two-division champion from ONE FC, just had a big win over Bo Nickel. Now he's getting ready for a tough 5-round fight against Robert Whittaker. Even with such a big fight ahead, RDR took some time to call out Khamzat Chimaev. He said he's not afraid of Khamzat and thinks the hype around him is too much. RDR believes that other middleweight fighters like Nasruddin Imavov are actually more dangerous. He also said that Dricus du Plessis, DDP, will beat Khamzat and called DDP an underrated fighter. RDR is aiming for UFC gold. If he beats Whittaker, he could get a title shot soon. When asked about the difference between the UFC and ONE FC, RDR was clear. He said the UFC is the best. According to him, it's the top level of MMA where every serious fighter wants to compete. In terms of fighting style, RDR could be a tough matchup for both Khamzat and DDP. He has elite grappling skills and also surprised people with his striking when he beat the previously undefeated Bo Nickel. His mix of striking and grappling makes him very dangerous at 185 pounds. If he keeps winning, we may soon see him fight one of the top UFC stars for the championship.
He's very explosive, very fast. I think if I can put a pressure on him like I did to Bo, I think I'll make a good chance, yeah.
Knockout?
Yeah, I'm a striker now, so yeah, fuck jiu-jitsu. Yeah, the goal is UFC champion, yeah. And I think I make a chance if I do this one well again and I can get him out spectacularly again. I think I have something to say, yeah. I think a lot of people are underestimating Dricus right now. If you look at like fights they've had, it looks a bit sloppy when Dricus fights, but he always gets them. He gets better as longer as the rounds go on. And I think he can survive that early onslaught of Khamzat. So I think Dricus can pull the win out. They call me Goofy as well. My wife told me so.
Do you feel like Khamzat's the most feared opponent in your division?
Not by me. I think there's better fighters in the division, to be honest. But the French guy, what's his name? Imavov. He's very complete, huh?
Ilia Topuria has officially replied to recent comments made by Khamzat Chimaev, and things are getting tense. Last month, Khamzat was asked who would win in a fight between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. Khamzat strongly supported Islam. He said it wasn't just about skills. He and Islam are like brothers. They share the same culture and religion, so he will always support him. But Khamzat also said he didn't like the way Ilia had been talking about Islam and his team. Even though he wasn't angry in the interview, you could tell he wasn't happy. Khamzat and Ilia have trained together before and even cornered their friend Guram Kutataladze during fights. They also had some crazy sparring sessions in the past that people in MMA still talk about. In that interview, Khamzat repeated something he always says: Dagestani and Chechen wrestling is on another level. He believes it can beat any fighting style. He also suggested that Ilia's style wouldn't work against that kind of grappling. Ilia didn't stay quiet. On a recent podcast, El Matador, his nickname, answered back. He said that his own grappling is different from what Islam has faced before. He hinted that Islam shouldn't expect an easy fight from him. Now let's dive into the full interview to see what else they had to say.
Can't analyze the wrestling that way, because you never know. You see a Russian guy wrestling with a American guy, and it can go either way, you know what I mean? Before, you were seeing guys in MMA, they were good in striking and maybe in wrestling, but their ground game wasn't that good. Or you see a guy who has a phenomenal ground game, he has a phenomenal striking, but his wrestling sucks. In my case, I'm good everywhere. So you can take me everywhere and I'm gonna feel comfortable. They used to say, I'm gonna take you to the deep water. I was born in the deep water. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Take me wherever you wanna take me. But I have so many things against Islam that he's gonna have some hard time with me. The only thing I need, it's one punch. And you know for sure that I'm gonna connect that one punch.
Henry Cejudo reveals Sean O'Malley's training. Camp Problems Henry Cejudo just shared some big news about Sean O'Malley's training for UFC 316, and it's not looking good for him. On the Pound for Pound podcast, Henry said he believes Merab Dvalishvili will win the fight, not just because of his non-stop pressure, but because of what he's hearing from insiders. Henry claims there are rumors that Sean's training camp hasn't been going well. He says Sean is mostly focusing on jiu-jitsu, but not practicing enough stand-up techniques or ways to get up after being taken down, skills he'll really need against Merab's wrestling. What's more, Henry says Sean is not spending enough on his training. He hasn't brought in top-level training partners and isn't putting extra money into getting ready for the biggest fight of his career. Henry even said Sean is being cheap, trying to do everything with just his own team. That's how this inside info started to leak out. Because of all this, Henry confidently told fans to bet on Merab. This news makes UFC 316 even more interesting. He said it wasn't just about skills. He and Islam are like brothers. They share the same culture and religion, so he will always support him. But Khamzat also said he didn't like the way Ilia had been talking about Islam and his team fight against Robert Whittaker. Even with such a big fight ahead, RDR took some time to call out Khamzat Chimaev. He said he's not afraid of Khamzat and thinks the hype around him is too much.